easier, living with heart. You know, basically, it's trusting enough in yourself that you'll be able to trust in others and be able to trust that it's all going to work out. You're the only one that's always going to be there for you. That's it, even for me. Like kids, whatever family we have, you can't guarantee that. You are the only one that's physically going to be there with you for the rest of your life. So you might as well make a good friend out of yourself. And you might as well get to like yourself. You might as well get to love yourself. You might as well get to accept, trust, be grateful for everything. It all comes down to. Welcome to Module 3. Module 3 is all about acceptance. We are going to learn how to accept ourselves and others, the good, the bad, the ugly. You ready? Let's go, man. Let's dive in. Welcome to the lesson. So this lesson, do you have an attitude, girl? Like, do you have an attitude? Well, attitudes are good, but I'm going to tell you an attitude that is going to make your life so much easier. This is an attitude of gratitude. Now, do you do a gratitude journal? No? Okay. You know how usually I say I suggest you do this, man? This one you have to do, because I started being grateful for what I had in life, and I started actually writing it down every morning, no matter what. First thing I roll out of bed, I write what I'm grateful for. And it has truly made a difference in my life. Now, the reason it makes a difference is that, well, here's a little story first, okay? I was driving one day, and in the past year, I quit a job, I sold a house, I lost relatives, a lot of things from the outside. There were a lot of major changes. And so one day, though, it was a gorgeous day out, I'm driving, and I found myself saying, God, I am so lucky. Like, I'm so lucky for my life. And then I kind of chuckled because I went, all right, I don't have a house, I don't have a job, I'm not in a relationship, my kids don't live with me anymore, I have no family left. And I thought, holy crap, if I can say that I'm grateful with all of that, like this gratitude stuff really works. And the reason it works is because when you write down every day what you are grateful for, you're focusing on what's good in your life. And I don't know about you, but for the longest time, like I listen to people around me, and I did it myself, as like we come from lack. Like I don't have this, I don't have this, and when you focus on the negative, that's all you see. So by focusing on the positive, which is gratitude, you start seeing more positive, and it's amazing. It's just a simple mind shift. Now, your gratitude journal, it doesn't have to be like big things that you're grateful for. There are many mornings that I'm like, oh my God, I'm grateful for that pillow. I'm grateful for like the person who made the pillow. I'm grateful for the feathers in the pillow. It can be very small things. It's not exactly the things. Again, the whole point of it is that you are looking for what is good in your life, and you're not focusing on what's missing from your life. So in summary, every morning or every night, this one I'm going to tell you, be consistent with, do it. And you'll find yourself throughout the day thanking just the universe for things. Like something happens good and I find myself going, wow, thank you so much, universe. So you want to make this one a daily habit. Write at least 3 things, not just one, at least 3 things. Try not to write the exact same things every day. You can repeat, but just look around you, see what's in the room you're at, and start being grateful for the smallest things. A lamp that brings you light, the carpet that's soft under your feet that keeps your feet warm. So I'm going to be a little demanding on this one. I want you, as soon as you hit stop on this, I want you to go and find 3 things that you are grateful for. All right? Get a piece of paper, write it wherever. And then I will see you in the next lesson. Welcome to the lesson. Today's lesson is going to be about serenity. Serenity is being at peace with where you are and learning to give up control of things that you can't change. Have you ever heard the Serenity prayer? Well, the Serenity prayer says, God grant me the courage to accept the things I cannot change and to change the things I can. Now, most every male in my family is a recovering addict. So I've been to these meetings where they start saying that Serenity prayer. And I gotta be honest with you, I never got it. I'm like, accept the things that I cannot change. You want me to just give up control? Like you want me to do nothing? And I never fully grasped it until a couple years ago. And it's not doing nothing. It's just learning that there's some things, no matter what you do, you are not going to be able to change the outcome. So it takes a whole lot of energy to worry about something. So if you can't change the outcome of it, then why worry? So there's this formula by Jack Canfield of Chicken Soup of the Soul, and it's E plus R plus O. E stands for an event, R stands for a response, and O is the outcome. Now, the reason I'm telling you this is because for me, it kind of cleared up when I do not give up control. So if you have a situation or an event and you respond a certain way, you don't get the outcome you want. The next thing you want to do is you got that same event, try a different response. Still don't get the outcome. If you've exhausted all your responses, you've tried every different way you can think of to get the outcome you want, and you can't get it, time for you to give up control. You've done all that you can. The only thing in that formula you can change is the response. So I hope that makes it a little more clear. If it doesn't, here's another good one. My son's pediatrician years ago had said to me, you know, pick your battles. So your battles in attaining serenity are the battles in which you have control of the outcome. So if your battle includes somebody else's behavior, give it up, because you don't have control over someone else's behavior, right? How many women out there, how many of you guys think when you meet a guy, you'll go, I'll change him? Wrong, you will never change them. They have to change themselves. To summarize this lesson, serenity is obtained by giving up control on those things for which you have no control. And I'll see you in the next lesson. Hey, welcome to today's lesson. Today's lesson is about patience. And I called it, It Is What It Is Until It Isn't. Because for me, that's the best way I identify like patience. You know, we're in this society where we want things now. We want it yesterday. And a lot of things in life that you want, they're not gonna happen immediate like that. You know, you picture it as though whatever you do in life today, you're planting these little seeds for the future. So an action today doesn't necessarily create a positive outcome tomorrow, a month from now, a year from now, 5 years from now. I mean, you're setting yourself up today for what's to come in the future. And during that time, you have to have patience, and you have to look for the lessons in everything you do. And I'll give you a perfect example. Is this past year, like since I quit work, there are a lot of things that I want now. You know, you want evidence that what you're doing in life is you're on the right track. And there are no guarantees that you're on the right track. But so I'll give you some examples of how you just need to be patient and know that if you're taking action, you're planting seeds for things that are to come. One example is that I was putting my house up for sale, and we were asking a certain amount, and we got an offer for like $8,000 less. And I took it only because we had tons of people look at the house, and no one had made an offer. I had flown out to California to give a talk. And the morning of the talk, my realtor called me and said, hey, the deal fell through. So we don't have an offer now. And I went, darn, okay, well, we'll get another. I go, I do my talk, and it was this woman, Lisa Nichols. At her talk, someone gave me a ticket for an event of hers that night, and I went to this event. And I didn't pay for the event. I didn't even know what the event was. You know, it was one of those times I just said yes. So I go in, and she's coaching people. It was a small group of people, like 40 people, and she was taking people up one by one on the stage. And I guess after a third person she coached, she happened to mention the word retreat. Now, talk about trusting your gut. I had this feeling in my gut, like just, I had no clue what it was. But I went back to the desk and I asked them, I said, will she be selling this retreat? And they said, yeah. I said, okay, here, you know what, just take my credit card, charge it. I don't want to know what it is, but I have to be there. Now, for anybody who knows me, I am one of the cheap, thriftiest people you will ever meet. For me to give my credit card to someone and say, charge it, whatever, is like so out of character. So anyhow, bottom line, they charge the event. I go home, and the event was $8,000. A week or so after I got home, we got an offer for the house, and they offered full price, which was $8,000 more than the first offer. So the moral of the story there is that when I first lost that offer, I started to be negative. I started to go, oh my God, like no one's ever gonna make this. And then I stopped myself. I said, you know what, hang on, there's a reason that this happened. And so after all that, the reason it happened is so that other person could walk in and offer full price on my home, which was the $8,000 I needed for the retreat I just signed up for. But the moral of the story here, the lesson is, be patient. Sometimes things happen in life and we don't understand why. You just gotta, again, trust in the process, be patient, and you'll eventually find out why. So, all right, enjoy the day, enjoy the ride, and I will see you next lesson. Hey, welcome back. How are you today? So listen, today's lesson, we are going to be talking about, I call it seeing life through the eyes of a child. Now, you may wonder what the heck this has to do with acceptance. And I guess to answer that question, I'll just ask you, have you ever watched little kids? They don't question, they don't overthink, they kind of just, the what is what it is, you know, they just kind of roll with life. They do throw their tantrums, however, I'll give you that. But they're accepting of people, things. And so I've learned that, like, if you look at life through kids' eyes, like pretend you are seeing everything for the first time. And so instead of looking and, I'm trying to think of a good example of this, something you find unappealing. You know, let's say you drive past a building every day on your way to work and you think it's a really ugly building. So if you're thinking it's an ugly building, every day you're driving past going, oh, what an ugly building. Whether you're saying it out loud or not, you're thinking it, which is kind of really negative. Switch it up and see if you can drive past that building and see it like a kid would, right? So if there's graffiti on it, you go, wow, look at those really cool colors. Or, you know, find something to switch up and see it like a little kid would see it. And, you know, this just, it adds so much to your life. I've done this most of my life. And when you start seeing things like a kid, you kind of get like the lightness of a kid, you know? And for this lesson, I want you to make a list of 10 things every day, little tiny nitpicky things that drive you nuts, you know? And instead of looking at the negative of it, I want you to put a spin and appreciate whatever it is that drives you crazy. okay? So write down the negative, and then you're gonna flip it and look at it as though a little kid would see it. And be curious, be inquisitive like a kid would see it. And I think you can find that this is gonna help change your attitude and help you be more accepting, not only of yourself, your situation, but of others too. You know, the whole idea here with the acceptance module is to stop like being so narrow in what you see and how you perceive it and how we judge it, and to kind of like open the horizon and look and just be in wondering that, oops, sorry. So the purpose here with seeing through the eyes of a child and how it relates to acceptance is, and life gets really busy sometimes, and we get really focused, and we get like narrow and small-minded, you know? I mean, like we just stay in our own little world. I want to widen the horizons and just look and be curious about everything. And that's gonna bring a whole new freshness into your life. So that is it for this lesson, and I will see you in the next module.